Hey there, how are you doing today? I'm doing quite well. Today, I want us to talk about a part that can be a sticking point. Those last minute reschedules and how do you take care of them on your schedule? Today on Communication Timely Tips. Oh my goodness, last minute reschedules. Everybody's hopping and dancing on the calendar and there's nowhere to put anybody. Let's talk about how we can handle them more effectively within your office. First of all, what is it? An easy way to think of it is anybody who needs to get on the schedule within the first half of your next rotation. If in your office you're on an 8-week rotation, anybody who needs to schedule within the next month or get on the books within the next month is a last minute reschedule. If you're a 10-week rotation, that would be in the 5 weeks. It's the place where it's going to be hard to find anybody. So who can this happen with? Well, it can happen with the traditional reschedule. Mom calls, Johnny's got a test today. Can I just slide that appointment to tomorrow? You know those kinds. Or it could be somebody who was expected to come in within the next half of your rotation and they forgot to book their appointment when they left the last time. So it's going to be a little tricky. So those unscheduled expected appointments. And then, of course, we have those repairs and fixes or lost retainers or whatever the case may be, those other things that are trying to find their way and weave their way into your schedule. Well, here's the thing. Every role plays a part in helping with this. Every single role. I mean, it starts with the treatment coordinator, with educating. Now, it's not going to be remembered, but at least we started there. Educating them that we do allow to have reschedules. Yes, we do take care of repairs. But we are on a 6 to 8 week rotation, and knowing that if you need to reschedule, you may need to take a time that's out of your desired time frame to keep you on track. And then to set those expectations. As I mentioned, it goes right along with that education. If you need to reschedule at the last minute or you have a repair at the last minute, knowing that we're on a rotation where everyone tends to pick up and keep their same slot in the rotation again, if you need to change something in the middle of that rotation, it may get a little tricky, so please be patient with us. Then, of course, the scheduling coordinator takes the brunt of this. The first thing for a last-minute reschedule, whether that's the repair, someone who actually is expected to come in, or a traditional reschedule, started out like this. Mom says, "Oh my goodness, Johnny has a soccer game. I need to reschedule." I would be happy to help you. What I'll be doing is looking for the first available appointment to help keep you on track. That's a critical component. Set that expectation. Advise them that what you're trying to do is keep them on track. Something as similar to this time frame as possible. Not the time of day, but the time frame within this week or so. Then, if you have challenges when you reschedule, and they're like, "Oh, no, it must be after 4:30. I would be happy to help you. I can look for that 4:30. It may be another 4 weeks before I can find that time, maybe extending treatment, or I can look to something closer to what the doctor has prescribed. Which do you prefer?" Oh my goodness, you're going to take out all that emotion and ickiness out of it. Then notate, if they opt to take the 4:30 and it is 4 weeks later than expected, put it in the notepad, somewhere not in the treatment chart where it can be read if the child or parent is sitting there at the chair. But you can put in the treatment chart, see notepad, see notes. Then over there, have a way of notating, Mom rescheduled last minute, added 4 weeks on to get her 4:30 time. That way, as we'll talk about the doctor, we have a breadcrumb trail of what's actually happened. Now, clinicians, I want you to remain aware as Johnny, especially as you're moving to those halfway milestones or 3/4 of the way milestones of treatment or nearing the end of the estimated treatment time, remain aware of those notes that the scheduling coordinator is putting in there for you. Are we seeing a pattern of delays? Make sure you're raising that to the doctor's awareness. And then find ways to incorporate it into chats in a casual way. Oh goodness, Johnny, it's important to come on in. I know you want to get done, right? So let's see about getting you in on a regular basis. See if you can casually put it in there. But of primary concern, remain aware of those notes that the scheduling coordinating team is giving to you. And then doctors, leverage that note knowledge that has been provided by the scheduling coordinators. I don't expect you digging for it. I expect your clinical assistants to keep you aware of it. But what this is going to do for you is this. When a patient starts treatment, it's almost like they put a date in their phone. When you said 24 months, they go, okay, 24 months, and they set an alarm. And when it comes around, they sit there and go, what's up? Why not? Why can't I get my braces off? You can then use that note knowledge and say something to the effect of, well, Mrs. Jones, I see that 4:30 time was really important, and we had a couple times where we had to reschedule and add an extra 4 weeks here and 4 weeks there. So that extra 2 months, well, that actually puts us ahead of schedule. You're not going to always pull that out, but at least you have a breadcrumb trail that lays it out for you, so there is a reason for where you are in the process. And then you can use that in your information as you pass it on to that parent or patient as you need to. So every role has that part. But here's some tools to leverage, and I used them in some of those examples. It's that setting of expectations. Treatment coordinator and others, we keep salt and peppering throughout the time we're talking. We are on a 6 to 8 week rotation. We use leverage an 8 to 12 week rotation. It's the continuing of the setting the expectations around this rotation. They don't realize it, but if everyone is scheduled, meaning all your active patients are scheduled, to get them all scheduled, if it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks, we need to set that expectation that if they need to change something in the midst of that, in order to keep on track, they may have to wait a bit. The other thing is state your facts. When you do then have to reschedule, make sure you're giving an option. You can use scarcity. You have first said, what I'm going to be doing is looking for the first availability to help keep you on track. I happen to see the doctor has an opening tomorrow at 10 or the following day at 2. Which works best for you? Notice that whether the option is 1 or 2 options, you state it. It is a fact. I don't want you getting your gut all in the midst of it. Because you've set that expectation, now you can simply state the facts instead of, oh my goodness, it's Mrs. So-and-so and she asked for 4:30, and then you're trying to fabricate and make holes. I want you to state where holes are, not try to fabricate holes. I've had clients where they have done deep dives, and when scheduling coordinators try to squeeze people in, fabricate holes in there to do repairs, it's amazing when you look at those repeat repairs, how many of them were because that first repair was squeezed in after 3:30. Well, that's not doing them a favor. So keep to the facts, man. Set the expectations, state the facts. And then here's one other tool I want you to keep in mind. And doctors, you're going to have to help on this, and office managers, it's a VIP list. Many of you doctors have been embedded into your location for a number of years, and you have some contacts that they have a beeline straight to you. And if you're going to cave and undo the hard line of the facts that your scheduling coordinators are trying to hold to, and that patient can always run around you and they get their way. If we know that's an inevitable fact, let's go ahead and make a VIP list. That is a very involved parent list. You know what they are. I want you to have the alert on for that patient. It's a VIP. And that way, if it's a medical alert and that patient or that parent sees it, hey, they don't mind being called a VIP instead of other acronyms we can use. If that's the case, and this should be a very small, agreed upon subset of patients, if you are labeled that way, we're going to go ahead and accommodate around there, because it is not worth the social media blow up that can occur when these go the wrong way. I'd rather you do that than to have people try to hold the line. They make a beeline around to the doctor and they get their own way. Undercutting doesn't set it up well. So something to remember as we close out. Those last minute reschedules were really by setting those expectations, and the verbiage we're using is trying to gain and set the clarity, because it's that lack of clarity that we get this, whoa, what's going on? And we get the frustration that ensues. Go back, watch again, and if you like these items, hit the subscribe button so you can be made aware of when the next videos come out. Until next time, I'm Amy, and this is Communicate Excellence. Have a great day. Bye-bye.